All right, we should be live. We should be live. 93, do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. All right. If I'm a little bit tired, it's because I haven't eaten anything and I have not drinking any water. So no food, no liquid. And it's been almost 24 hours. All right. So I'm pushing it way beyond, Ramadan, the traditional fast and all that. Doing it my own way, pushing myself to the absolute limits. All right. So bear with me. Because in the month of Ramadan, you're supposed to, if you're Muslim, of course, you're supposed to take that time to read the entire Quran, right? Not to say that every Muslim does this, but this is the time where if you go to the masjid, you basically, you would go at night and they basically pray going through the entire Quran. So the prayers are extremely long, right? Because you have to get through the entire Quran. So that's the traditional way. So I have not been reading the Quran, but I have been reading, things in my element in the sense of necromancy, sorcery, the forbidden arts, working with the dead, and all of the things you are supposed to stay away from. But I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video because the title of this video, what's up, Immortal7293, salute to you. The title of this video is called What It Means to Be in the Age of AI. Elon Musk versus Bill Gates. Also, the traps of the profane. But again, I'll get to that later on in the video. The reason why I wanted to speak about what it means to be in the age of AI, because those are the words of Bill Gates, right? So I'm not saying that I created the phrase. Those are the words of Bill Gates. However, Bill Gates and Elon Musk are at odds when it comes to AI. And let me explain to you why. From the perspective of Elon Musk essentially wants to regulate AI. That's why he no longer supports the open AI company, which he was a part of in the beginning. And now Bill Gates is a part of it. Elon Musk stepped away because he didn't agree with the direction that it was going in. Because he feels that AI is essentially just going to make us pets. AI is going to take over the world, that perspective, right? However, Bill Gates' perspective is this is exactly what we needed to happen. This is exactly what's supposed to be happening, right? So you have people that are against AI and you have people that are for it. AI is just another way of saying the age of Aquarius. Because we know the attributes of Aquarius deal with technology as well as electricity, which then will go into artificial intelligence. That is all a part of the energy of Aquarius, or the constellation of Aquarius, which is meant for us to become cybernetic. It's meant for us to merge with AI. Because when we merge with AI, it makes one person as powerful as 10 people. So what would normally require a whole team of people to accomplish, you can accomplish on your own now, This is the difference. Because everybody is about, you got to have a powerful team. You got to have a strong team in order to be successful. That was the case before AI because they were right. You may be doing one job, somebody else is doing something else, somebody else is doing something else. And when y'all merge all of those elements together, it becomes, what we see on the world stage. So you can say nothing was just done by one person all the way up until now. So what would normally take 10 people to accomplish, you can accomplish on your own with the assistance of AI. However, Elon Musk feels that AI is essentially getting out of control. And if we just let it do what it want to do, it's going to get out of hand and we're going to become the slaves to machines. Basically, just like the movie The Matrix, for those who remember the movie, the original movie. So what happens is you have to figure out what side you are on. Are you on the side of you feel artificial intelligence is dangerous? Basically, what they're saying is it will eventually wipe out humankind as we know it. Humankind will be unrecognizable to what we know it to be now. If you ask for my personal opinion, that's just fear mongering. That's just putting fear into the people. And of course, they don't want it in your hands. This is what I'm getting from it. Of course, they don't want you to be as strong as 10 people, being able to do things on your own because you no longer need them. See, all the way up until this point, you needed them because a lot of us don't know how to code. A lot of us don't know how to program. A lot of us are still not tech savvy. Now, that doesn't really matter because now you have programs like Bard, you have programs like Chat GPT that allows you to do these things. And now you don't have to go to college for it. Now you don't have to take years to learn how to do these things manually. Now, of course, it helps to know how to do these things because if you run into errors, as they call bugs, you want to be able to correct it. So, of course, you want to have an understanding of how these things work or the language. But it's not as essential as it once was. Essentially, again, you will always have to depend on them. You will always have to go to them. You will always have to put money in their pocket. This is also why the technology sector is falling. That's why we're dealing with all these layoffs in the technology sector because their jobs are no longer needed. Their jobs are no longer needed. We were paying people six figures to do stuff that Chat GPT can do now. So why would you continue to pay these people six figures when all these things can be automated at this point? So for all the people who want to keep that pyramid scheme going, of course they're going to be against AI because that wipes out so many jobs. Hundreds of thousands of jobs, even millions of jobs, two-thirds of the jobs will be completely wiped out. As I was explaining to y'all before, all of the STEM people, the scientific community, the people who are part of the technological community, the engineering community, and the mathematical community. Now, these people are not as needed as they once was. They had a monopoly on the game because you always needed somebody smart on your team who understood these things, right? Now that that's no longer the case, this is why we see the results we see. That's why we see what's going on in Silicon Valley, what went on with the bank, and also why all these people are losing their jobs because they're just not needed. We are in the age of AI. They don't serve a purpose anymore. Now, of course, they're going to try to protect their jobs. So, of course, they're going to be against AI because they're not doing it because they're actually against AI. They're doing it to preserve their lifestyle. They're doing it to preserve their survival because they will not be able to make the same amount of money anywhere else. Where is a mathematician going to go to make six figures other than a mathematical job? Where is that technological person going to go? Where is that scientific person going to go? Where is that engineer going to go to make that same salary? There is nowhere to go. So they are doing it to preserve their livelihood and their lifestyle, which I don't really blame people. What's up, Nefertiti? 93. Salute to you. So once again, if my energy is a little bit lower, I haven't eaten anything, I have had no liquids, and it's been almost 24 hours. I probably would eat something or drink something after this live stream, but I wanted to come to y'all in the most purest state that I can come to y'all in before I start putting things in my body, right? I'm just giving y'all the interview of what it looks like when you take your body to extremes that we're just not used to experiencing. Meaning you still have people who feel like they will die if they don't eat in 3 days. We still have people believing in these false narratives. And who gave us these false narratives? Oh, that's right, the doctors, the medical industry. They put all these false narratives in our mind to the point where now we have fear that's not even based in reality. But it's good for business. It keeps the business flowing. So science is a religion and it's based on business. The information that they give you puts money in their pocket. They're not going to take money out of their own pocket. They're not going to tell you, well, you can actually heal yourself. You don't need these pills. You don't need to go through those surgeries. They're not going to tell you that because that takes money out of their pocket. So why would they recommend you to do the correct thing, the healthy thing? That's why they give you pills. They don't tell you to change your lifestyle. They don't tell you to change your habits. They just give you pills so that you can keep doing whatever it is that you're doing, destroying your body. But they got the pills to make you feel normal even though you're destroying your body. Because as long as you are putting money in their pocket, they don't care about your health. So there's that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why we're getting so much pushback and why so many people are against all these technological advances, right? Because it threatens their livelihood and they will fight tooth and nail to preserve their livelihood. And we just see that example playing out on the world stage with Elon Musk and Bill Gates. Elon Musk even went as far as saying that when Bill Gates said that he would rather drive a Porsche than a Tesla, right? Which I don't disagree with in the sense of I see why it would drop. But this is why these two energies, you can say two of the so-called smartest people in the world, they're at odds. They don't see eye to eye. Even though they were both in the open AI when it started. They were both there together. But again, they went their separate ways when things started to progress a lot faster than they thought. What they thought would take 2 to 3 years, they were able to accomplish in 2 to 3 months. That's how fast AI is moving. They were like, okay, we need to get this done in 3 years. They got it done in 3 months. 3 years is like 1,000 days, over 1,000 days. They got it done in 90 days, less than 100 days. What they thought would take over 1,000 days, they got done in under 100 days. Just to give you a scale of how fast AI is moving, which is why Elon Musk feels the way he feels like, yo, this is moving a little bit too fast. We're going to get to a point where by the time we get to 2025, the year 2025, and for those who don't know, in the year 2025 is when Uranus switches signs. Uranus goes into a different sign in 2025. Uranus changes signs like every 7 years or so. So that's why the year 2025 is being thrown around. I talked about this in my Uranian mysteries. If you don't know about the Uranian mysteries, just go to my website, ashranu.com, and just click on the tab Uranian mysteries. All right, so I talked about that a long time ago. But I did that in preparation for the year 2025 because I was looking ahead of time. I'm like, okay, these are the things that will occur while we are moving towards the year 2025. And this is how you can position yourself to gain from that energy instead of being on the opposite of that energy. Because again, if you are used to the system how it is, then you're going to be on the opposite of that energy. That goes into what I mean by the traps of the profane. What I mean by the traps of the profane is when it comes to magic, when it comes to sorcery, when it comes to necromancy, when it comes to all of these sciences which are artistic in nature, the reason why it's not for the profane is because the profane just wants to be comfortable. And there is a level when you're opening up the gates of the spirit world, eventually when you go through that third gate, after you go through the third gate, you begin to have better control over the affairs of your life after you pass through that third gate, which for the average person, they will be satisfied with that because at that point they can be comfortable. They're not trying to go the full way, they will get lazy and comfortable. This is why these arts are not for the profane because even though they get comfortable, they're not going to have any defense for the reckoning that's to come because you open up those gates in the first place. Meaning, if you decide to do any dark work, any black work, whatever you want to call this, it is your responsibility to go the entire way. The moment you get lazy and comfortable because your life is in order now, things are going your way now, and you feel like, oh, I'm good. The moment you get to that point, things will be ripped away from you. Let me give you an example. Just take an example of an entertainer who got to the top of the charts. The world loves them. They're all good, right? They're comfortable. They're making the amount of money they make. They're good until they get hit with a scandal. When they get hit with a scandal and then their whole livelihood is threatened, their whole business deal is threatened. Now the music industry don't want to work with them. Now Hollywood doesn't want to work with them because of a scandal. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's inevitable that something like that will happen if you get comfortable and and you're practicing this dark magic. It's like it's a trap. So when we hear stories about people getting fucked up because they're opening up these gates, this is why. Because they got comfortable, because they got a little control over their lives. They got a little influence. It even happens on YouTube. Look how many people who went to the top of the pyramid, got all the subscribers they want, got all the money they want, till a scandal comes up. Then people figure out, oh, you've been scamming. Oh, you've been doing the people wrong. You've been doing it, you ain't been doing right by the people. Now it all goes to hell. Or they get their channel deleted. Or they lose monetization. Now they can't make money off of their channel. They weren't prepared for that. And there's nothing they can do because they got comfortable, right? They started sitting on their fat ass, thinking shit was sweet because they think they got the game figured out. So they didn't keep going. And then they lose it. They get thrown off, or they get a stain on their reputation that's hard to get off. Again, the R. Kelly effect or the Bill Cosby effect. You know I don't remember the other guy that was in Hollywood that was like just being too aggressive with women. Not Epstein, the other guy, whatever his name is, right? Anyway, this is why these things happen. Nobody's going to tell you that, but I'm telling you that so that you don't fall victim. Your Weinstein. There you go. I appreciate that, Avery. Yeah, you seem to know all the. Every time I'm like, I don't know what this is. You seem to come with the answers. I appreciate it. But this is why those things happen because you get comfortable. Do not get comfortable if you decide to walk this path because it will destroy you. Because it's designed to destroy you. Because you are in the process of completely destroying yourself in the first place. you are supposed to destroy yourself, then you have to go through a rebirth. That happens on the upper levels. You have to rebuild yourself from the nothingness. If you don't go into the upper levels, you will just be destroyed, and now you don't have anything to step into. You see how that works? So when you are destroyed, and you will be destroyed, you don't have a new body to step into. You don't have a new vessel to step into because you didn't take time to forge it because you got comfortable. So again, that's why we see this all over the place. Again, whether it's online or whether it's on real time, this is why that happens. Right? So that's why I'm giving you the warning. So when people say bad shit happens to them when they open up these gates, they're right because they got a little taste of power, and then they lost their mind. Oh shit, I got all these subscribers, and they hit a point that they never hit in their life. They're making more money than they ever made. They're getting more attention than they ever got. So they lose themselves. They get caught up in that vortex. They be spending all that money, dealing with all the men, dealing with all the women, trying to show off, being prideful. You know how people do is this is the profane. They all are the same. They are all the same. The only people that are not the same is the people that continue up the ladder. It's those people that like, oh, okay, it's like you really don't even understand how they avoided shit. It don't even make sense. It's supernatural that they were able to avoid certain. An example of that I would say would be Drake. If you want an example, I would say Drake, right? Drake doesn't necessarily have the cleanest reputation, but you see he's good because he didn't stop. He didn't, he still does what he does. He's not comfortable. He's still making hits. He still do what he does, right? Just to give you an example. That's why you see nobody has been able to touch his level, other than like a Eminem. Eminem is another example. Eminem, Drake. But you see, Eminem is not in the spotlight, really, is he? Eminem stays to himself. You don't really see him seeking after the fame. He's more infamous. He just want to be wherever he is. He just want to stay in his bat cave because he continued to advance. He realized that this ain't about shit anyway. He like, all this fame, all this money ain't about shit. That's why he went to rehab, came out and just changed his image. Did he not step into a new body after he got off those pills? Now he's making a different type of music. Now he's no longer dyeing his hair blonde. Now he's in his natural hair. This is what I'm talking about. He was able to step into that new image and then be accepted. And now he's good, right? So he don't ever have to make another record if he don't want to. Just like Drake. Drake don't have to make another record, but they continue to put in that work just out of the love of it. So I'm just giving you these examples of if you stop when you were supposed to keep going, then it is your fate to be destroyed. Because when you deal with the so-called entertainment industry, Hollywood, the music industry, all these where everyone wants to be, even social media is a part of this too. You want to get to the top of the chambers of social media, you have to exercise this black magic, this dark magic. How do we know? Because you need to utilize that black mirror. That black mirror is that computer, that laptop, and these cell phones. These are all black mirrors. So you're learning how to engage and manipulate that black mirror, which is black magic. Why do you think so many people try to make a certain type of content just to get attention? Why do you think people try to make content to trigger your emotions? When you look at the most popular content, it's disgusting. It's people just doing shit for attention. It's people who want to dwell in the lower emotions. So for all the people that's already mad and disgruntled, you got a content creator waiting for you. Meaning there's people who just dwell on politics. There's people that just dwell on, is it going to be the end of the world? It's going to be World War III. Shit is just going to be crazy. They just dwell in that energy. It's like there's just no positive energy in sight. Shit is just going to go down, 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 right? That's just what they do because The people watching, people because people are already fucking miserable. So of course misery loves company. So if they're making content to make you feel good about being miserable, because you already think the end of the world is right around the corner, then of course that's the type of content that you're going to be drawn to. You're not even going to care about content that's telling you that, okay, maybe you should better yourself because we got a long way to go. The world is not ending no time soon. So while you're waiting for the world to end, you can be building your new body and stepping into your new light so that you can be in a good position when things do shift. Because the world ain't ending, but there will be a shift, and the shift is happening every day. That's why we must step into our new bodies. That's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Because I know the sacrifice must be made, right? That's why I'm doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm going through the sacrifice. I'm doing what, most people are afraid to do. Most people are afraid of death. So what are certain limits that they will never conquer? Because the moment that death is in the midst, they don't want nothing to do with it. You get closer to death when you fast. You get closer to death when you dry fast. So right now, I am very close to death, not in the terms of dying, but just the energy of death. Because death becomes you, especially if you're talking about the dark side. Death becomes you. You become death itself. In order to conquer death, you must become it. You must master the energy. You're not going to master the energy from the outside looking in. You must master the energy by going directly to the center of it and conquering it. So, for example, if you are a person who thinks, well, if I don't eat in 3 days, I'm going to die, you got to go longer than 3 days without eating. And you realize, like, damn, I'm still here. I didn't die. I'm still alive. Now, your fear of death is not as grand as it was because now, like, oh, so that wasn't true because that was told to us by the medical industry. Like, damn, if they lied about that, what else are they lying about? You see where then you go through this rabbit hole. Like, damn, they've been lying about every goddamn thing. This is literally a whole reality of lies. This is just a bunch of liars. This is another reason why I don't put ads on my video because it's just a bunch of lies. Why would I introduce you to lies? I'm not speaking on nobody else, but that's why it's hard for me to watch other people's content because when they're in the middle of saying whatever they're saying, an ad plays promoting some bullshit, which completely throws off the whole message. Like, for example, it can be a person talking about black power, black power, black power. Then they got an ad and you see a white man promoting the product. People are, well, no, it's subconscious. They do that shit on purpose. So you can be as black in your consciousness as you want, but that white man is gonna pop up every 5 minutes. If you got ads in your video, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, you're gonna see a white face. So I'm like, I can't do that. That completely throws off the energy. But again, if you're about business, if you're about making that money, then you don't give a fuck about that. And then the profane doesn't give a fuck about that either. They just click on the ad, skip it, whatever. All right. But that's why I don't even put that energy because it interrupts the flow of what I'm saying. That's why you can watch my videos all the way through, not interrupted. And if there is an ad on the video, YouTube did it theirself. It's not because I have the ads on. I don't. None of these videos are monetized for this exact reason. My flow would not be interrupted by somebody else's culture promoting lies. Because we don't need anything that they're pushing to us anyway. What fucking ad? When the last time you brought something from a fucking ad? It's bullshit. You don't need it. It's just a bunch of people selling bullshit. So why would I put that in my content if I'm supposed to be delivering something real to you? It doesn't make any sense to me, but again, my mind doesn't work like everybody else's, right? I'm not going to put the dollar in front of the message. But again, even that comes at a cost. So I'm not saying it like this is just what everybody should do. If you're a business person, you probably shouldn't do that because that's going to take money out your pocket. That's not going to put money in your pocket. That's going to take money out your pocket. So now it becomes a decision based on your character. How important is your message? To the point where you're going to constantly have the people that's watching, they're going to constantly get interrupted by bullshit. So if it's a 20-minute video and it has 5 ads in 20 minutes, how much of that message are you really digesting? Because you're constantly getting interrupted every 5 to 7 minutes by a fucking advertisement that's complete bullshit. How serious do we think people are taking that shit? And honestly, the people that have these fucking ads, I'm like, these are not people that need to be listened to any goddamn way, because most of what they're saying is bullshit. So I understand why they have bullshit in their channels as ad, because what they're saying is bullshit. It just is what it is. So it works for them, right? If you're selling shit to the people, why not put ads and just put more money in your pocket? Why not do that? But I'm just explaining to you why that doesn't make any sense to me, right? And why I'm not doing that, right? I tried that in the past, but I never felt comfortable doing that, because I'm like, why would I have another face constantly popping up that people can't avoid that shit? It doesn't make any sense to me. But again, that's just me. I'm a fucking extremist, right? So I'm not expecting anybody to even understand that. But I know when it's all said and done, these videos will be up here until YouTube shuts down, until there is no more YouTube. So people will be able to tap into this energy for however long YouTube lasts, uninterrupted. I'm thinking about the long term. I'm not thinking about the short term, how much money I can put in my pocket now. That's me getting caught up in the bullshit. I'm thinking about, what about 5, 10 years from now? When the next generation comes along and then they want to get this information in the most purest form, where are they really going to go to? So I'm thinking long term. But again, moving along, do not get caught into the vortex of the profane. That's why I say don't speak to people for no reason. Don't even show them your magical workings. If you have any seals, any sigils, you should not be exposing that to nobody, especially the profane, because all they're going to do is misunderstand it and judge you, because their mind is not wired to comprehend this. Meaning there's people who will watch this video and can't even comprehend what the fuck I'm saying just because they're too fucking profane. It's not that what I'm saying doesn't make sense, but if you're too filled with bullshit, why? Because you don't have no dietary law. You just eating whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. You have no spiritual law. You have no mental law. Then it's not going to make sense to you, because this is just too direct. This is just too straightforward. And when you move like a snake, you just can't help but to swivel around on your fucking belly. So when people come at you in a straight line, it's like you don't even know how to deal with that. This is the energy of the profane. That's why you do your best to stay away from them. The highest magicians, the highest alchemists, that's why they were isolated, living in caves, dwelling in the deserts. The only time they really came amongst people is really to bargain, to do business. But then they went on about their business. They're not sleeping with these people. They're not engaging in these people's lifestyle. Because what lifestyle do they really have? All they're doing is being controlled by their lower nature. That's not going to benefit you when you got your higher nature activated. If your higher nature is activated, what can people who's trapped in their lower nature do for you? People who can't even control their diet, their hunger, their desires, sexual desires or otherwise, people who have no control of this. What are they going to do for you? When you're trying to open up your throat chakra, you're trying to learn how to communicate with angels. You're trying to learn how to communicate with cosmic intelligence. What are they going to do for you? They're not going to do anything for you. It's just going to be like you're wasting your time. If anything, they're going to bring your energy down. That's the only thing that's going to happen. Again, misery loves company. They're going to do their best to get you on their level. And they're not doing this consciously. It's just that you are what you eat. That's all it is. You are what you eat. So when your diet is fucking disgusting, your mind is fucking disgusting. That's why people watch all these drama shows, fucking what is it, Maury, all these judge shows and all this shit that's just filled with drama. Why do you think people watch that shit? I done been around people, that's all they watch. The only thing they watch is drama. They don't watch anything educational. They're not trying to advance themselves. The only thing that they care about doing is filling up their bellies, watching that drama bullshit, arguing with people on the phone, gossiping, backbiting. That's all. Their whole fucking day is non-productive. And this is beyond age. This is everything from teenagers from to elders. So this is not an age thing. So this is not something you outgrow with age. I done seen elders on the same time. The only thing that's would allow you to overcome that is if you evolve. You have to evolve because you want to evolve, because it's in you. You are activating your divine spark. Can't nobody activate it for you. That's why you got to make the sacrifice yourself. That's why you see me in here by my goddamn self, fasting by my goddamn self, talking to y'all by myself. Nobody else is doing this with me. That's why in most of my videos, what 99% of my videos, all you see is me. Because the majority of the time, it's only me. So if I don't do it, it's just not going to get done. So if I don't motivate myself to even make these videos are not going to get done. Nobody has motivated me. Did you make a video today? Nobody has motivated me to get up and make these videos every day. What motivated me to make these videos every day is because I decided to better myself. All right, my diet is crazy, right? I need to change my diet. I think I'm smoking a little bit too much. I need to put that weed down. When I started making changes within me, then I'm like, all right, let me get on this shit. Let me get back on my YouTube grind. Then I started to take it more seriously. But it's only once I changed myself, when I changed from the inside out, that's when I started to get different results. So that's why I always use myself as an example. Like I would never tell you anything I have not done myself. That's why I'm always doing shit. I'm always doing shit because I want to be the example. I'm not going to tell people to do what I'm not doing. Why would I tell you to change your diet and I ain't changed mine? Why would I tell you to go into the dark chambers and I ain't been to the dark chambers? But again, some people run their fucking mouth. Again, scholars. Some people are scholarly. They don't have no practice in this. Hold on. I noticed you talked about Uranus. I brought your Uranian spells last year. Salute to you, Goddess Incarnate. I appreciate that. What kind of work do you recommend for a Venus and Uranus conjunction? Well, when Venus and Uranus are conjunct, we understand Venus represents shape and form. Venus is sacred geometry. When we're talking about Uranus, Uranus represents your higher mind or your holy guardian angel if we're talking about the Lima. So you connect with your holy guardian angel through Uranus. So Venus represents sacred geometry. So Uranus and Venus combination is you are forging a seal to connect with your holy guardian angel, what everybody else calls their higher self. The proper name is the holy guardian angel. So this is you forging seals, symbols, and sigils to connect with your holy guardian angel. So that's what happens when Venus and Uranus connect. Now you are inclined to be more artistic in your approach to spirituality and technomancy. Uranus is also the planet of technomancy, right? So this is you acknowledging the techno goddesses, or as we call it, the cyber goddesses. That may be a better way to explain it. This is you connecting with the cyber goddesses, right? And I talked about the cyber goddesses on the website. I also talked about it in the YouTube memberships, right? And I talked about it a little bit on my Telegram. But that's Venus Uranus is you connecting with the cyber goddess and forging seals, symbols, and sigils to connect with her energy. So you have a real life representation of her energy in physical space. So now you're going beyond a mantra or sound. You need a physical vessel for her to occupy in physical time, right? So Venus is all about utilizing physical space to channel down spiritual forces, because Uranus is an outer planet. It represents the energy of spirit, the Holy Spirit. Uranus is the Holy Spirit. So Venus is the body of the Holy Spirit, right? So Venus, you must give a body or a vessel to the Holy Spirit, aka the Holy Guardian Angel, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Now, and this is why I say, where would you find these symbols? Where would you find these seals? It's not like you can just type this up on the internet and somebody else is going to do it. Nah, that's not how it works. You must receive these downloads directly. For example, if you are a person that has a hard time dreaming, you need to do what I'm doing, which is dry fasting. You know how many times I dreamed in just today in this 24 hours? It is fucking ridiculous. When you don't have any chemicals in your body, any foreign chemicals in your body, it's easy for you to dream. It's easy for you to meditate. I'm in meditation all fucking day at this point, without trying, without even putting in no effort at all. I'm not putting in no effort other than me fasting. That's the effort I'm putting in. All I gotta do is close my eyes, lay back, and I'm in the astrals instantly. However, when I was being a slug, because I've been there too. When I was just eating filthy, that shit was damn near impossible for me to do. I'm waking up, I gotta clean my eyes out. It's mucus in my eyes. We know how, as we call it, you gotta get the sleep out your eyes. I gotta blow my nose and shit because all that mucus is coming out from all that goddamn eating the bullshit. When I was eating junk food, I don't eat none of that. I can't eat junk food. Again, it's my diet is so strict at this point, it's ridiculous. So when I actually do eat, it's like I eat the same thing. I don't even eat too much different stuff. My diet is pretty strict. It's just like fruits, veggies, rice, beans, right? And I may even switch to rice and beans, right? So I don't even my diet doesn't have a lot of variety. I just stick to the script, and it's been working because my spirituality has been enhanced. As you see, it's got me back on YouTube. Because before, when my diet was all over the place, I wasn't even making videos. You see, I'm just not recently even getting back on YouTube. I wasn't even on YouTube for 30 days before I came back. I had to correct myself. I'm like, what am I doing here? So yeah, like I'm stuffing my body, but I'm not even giving out the information no more because I don't even got the spiritual channel no more. I'm weighing myself down too much. So I'm like, all right, enough of that. I need to get back to it. And here I am, right? So you see I've been showing up every goddamn day, right? Every day I haven't took a break yet. Even if I don't feel like doing it, I'm still showing up. Because now I have the energy. Because I had to cleanse myself of all these foreign chemicals. So now I see it more clearly than I ever seen it. I'm like, damn, when I changed my mental, physical, and spiritual foods, now all of a sudden I got the energy to do the YouTube. Now I got the energy to create the content. Now I got the energy to be the technomancer that I know I am. Now I got the energy to be the spiritualist that I know I am. But let me go back to that filthy ass diet. All that shit will stop. Let me go back to doing the bullshit. All that shit will stop. So I know I have to constantly make a sacrifice just to do this. So again, that's why I fast. That's why I draw fast, because this is how I keep the spiritual vibrations close to me. Right? This is how I connect with my Karina. For those who even know what that is, this is how I keep my Kareen close to me. Because I realize that I am a Shair Majnoon. I am a Shair Majnoon. For those who understand Arabic, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I know the purpose that I serve here. So, but my purpose required me to do things in a very extreme manner, right? So I can't look at what anybody else is doing and mimic their behaviors. I have to create my own, just like you must create your own, right? So your diet must reflect what chambers you're trying to open up. So I'm not saying you got to go as hard as I go. It all depends on what chambers you are trying to open up. So if you're trying to go all the way, you probably got to go through this. But if you're trying to go halfway, then it probably would only take half of the effort. And if you're only trying to go a quarter of the way, it will only take a quarter of the effort. So your efforts or your sacrifice will determine how far you're able to advance. Meaning, some people are okay working with demons. Some people are okay with working with angels. But if you want to work with both, you got to go through a more extreme vessel. I mean, you got to die and create your body anew. You have to refresh your astral body. You have to refresh your energy body. You can't just be in your human vessel if you're trying to go into the demonic worlds and the angelic worlds. That's why most people only stay on one side. They either with the dark shit or they with the light shit. You don't see too many people that's navigating both because that requires a bigger sacrifice. The sacrifice that most people are not willing to activate. And I understand it like you understand it. This is just a lifestyle of the profane. People that you should not waste your time even engaging with on any level other than business. So if there's not a contract in place, you should not even want to engage with these people. What are they going to do for you? Again, other than make you money, that's as far as it goes. Only engage with these people for the purposes of making money, right? That's all it is. That's all it is. So that's why you got to be like a Capricorn out here, aka the devil. You got to move like the devil move. Meaning everybody hates the devil. Everybody's trying to avoid the devil. But when you come in the energy of the devil, now you keep people away from you. See, that's, some people, we're a little bit too nice. Like our aura is too inviting. That's why people be coming up to you, want to fucking ask you questions and just want to be in your energy because your aura is too nice. What's up, JD? 93. What's up? So we must change our whole aura. When you become the devil and that is reflecting in your aura, then you realize that people will willingly avoid you. They don't want to say shit to you, which is the energy you should want to have, again, if you take this spiritual path seriously, because these people they're just time wasters in the first place. They have nothing to give you. They have nothing to offer you. But then when you see the people that actually can resonate with that aura, then you're like, okay, these people actually may be a benefit to you because they can handle the darkness within you. Anybody can handle the light because everybody's chasing after God, but everybody's running from the devil. But you want everybody to run from you. That's what you want. You want the profane to get the fuck out of your way when you come through, where they're looking at you in fear. Again, you have the choice. Either people will love you or people will fear you. But you only want the love from those that are on your level, honestly. You don't want the love from people that's not on your level because they're quick to switch up on you. Soon as you get into a scandal, soon as shit goes bad for you, they're going to turn their back. And the only people that's going to stick with you through all the adversity is those who actually love you for who you are. They can accept your darkness. So they'd be there when all these things, you know, if you hear that cat, don't worry about it, right? Again, as y'all know, every time I make these videos and summon this energy, the cat just goes crazy because it's the energy, right? So the cat is fine, all right? So if you hear the cat is fine. The cat has food, water. There's nothing wrong with the cat. The cat just wants attention, all right? That's all it is. So once I'm done with the video, I'll deal with the cat. So don't get distracted by that. Cat is just fine. No harm is being done here. So I'm pretty much, we 50 minutes in. I'll probably talk, I guess, another 10 minutes. Then we'll check out again. We don't need to take too long with this. All right. Y'all get my point. Embody the energy of the devil, what the energy that most people fear. And then use that energy to go all the way into darkness. Go all the way into the depths of Hades. Don't just go halfway, go all the way into the depths of Hades. Because that's where you become reborn. That's when you activate the energy of the phoenix, and then you can give new life to your new vessel to the point where you don't even care about your past life. That's another thing. We're still too concerned with our past life. We're still too concerned with what our parents think, what our siblings think, even what our children think, what our friends think. We're still concerned with other people's opinion, and they don't even understand what the fuck you're doing. We're still caught up in how they view us. That just lets you know that there are still levels for you to go. Once that no longer matters to you, meaning if you had to go out into the desert and summon the jinn, most people ain't even like, I don't even know why I'm talking about that. Most people are not going to do that. But I'm speaking about it because you see, I live in the fucking desert, right? Remember, so I'm not going to ever tell you anything that I live in the desert. So what you see, I'm not visiting the desert. I live in the desert 24/7. I'm in the desert all the time. That's where I met the jinn. The jinn are in the desert, whether it's the deserts in the Middle East, but also the deserts here in America, in New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, right? That's where you meet the jinn. That's why I feel the desert is my home because I'm like, oh, I met the jinn here. As you see, it's here where I became who I am now. It's here in the desert where I was introduced to 93. I had no idea what 93 was until I came out to the desert. I had to come out, do these rituals, and that's when I met the jinn. That's when I met my queen, right? So again, I'm just talking about what has to happen. You have to go to certain environments. You have to go to certain locations to activate certain chambers. Is you can't do everything from the comfort of your home. But again, that's just lazy shit, right? Eventually, you got to go out and travel. That's why you see I had to travel all over the damn country to get this game. I didn't just sit on my ass. I had to go all the way from the east to the west, from the north to the south, and gather information and intelligence from all of these places. All right, so I had to get the fuck up and I had to navigate. So that's why I'm able to talk from all these chambers because I had to get up and I had to navigate. Right, you can't be an armchair scholar when you're about this, right? Or you will be destroyed. That's what I'm saying. But you really shouldn't care about your reputation any damn way. That's the whole point of infamy. When you're infamous, you probably have a bad reputation any goddamn way. Not because you're bad at business, not because you're scamming people, not because you're doing people wrong, just because you are the darkest of the dark, right? You are the shaman, you are the necromancer, you are the sorcerer. That's what I'm talking about. So people are already going to be looking at you crazy because of your occupations. Again, I've had people look at me crazy just because they saw a tarot deck right by me. I may have the tarot deck right by me. People looking at me crazy just off of the tarot deck, not because they ever had a conversation with me, but I'm like, I'd be doing this shit on purpose. Cause I'm like, yeah, I don't want you saying a goddamn thing to me anyway here. Put that tarot deck right there. I may put the seal of Lucifer. Boom. Anything to throw people off. Like, stay the fuck up, stay the fuck away from me. Oh shit, that's a salute. They don't want nothing to do with it. It's just protection. Protect yourself from the profane in any way you see fit. That's what I'm saying. So if you need to do some crazy shit to keep people away, then do it. If you need to wear shirts with sigils and seals on it, then do it. Do whatever you got to do to keep these people out of your space because they serve you no purpose. And then the people that are attracted to it, maybe you can give them a little game, but you still don't know where they at anyway. So you still have to take your time with that, right? Because again, some people are just lonely. Some people just want people to talk to. So everybody's not don't have the fire within them to take it all the way. So don't even expect that from people. Don't expect people to have that passion that you have to take it all the way, to take it to the max, to take it to the extreme. These are rare people. These are rare gems. So again, these are not people you're going to run into on a daily basis. You may only run into a couple of these people in your lifetime who has the fire to really go all the way, no matter what the sacrifice is. They don't care what the sacrifice is. Or I'm going all the way. I'm not stopping halfway. They look at you crazy. Like, oh, we're just gonna go halfway. The fuck you mean we going halfway? They look at you crazy. You start talking like that. But again, don't expect these people to just pop out of nowhere. That's why you should be working with spirits in the first place. Because again, these people are rare. But the spirit is in abundance. That's why you should be invoking and evoking the spirit to gain that wisdom. Because you always have access to the spirit because you are spirit anyway. You are a spirit being. My fam threw out my Thoth deck without asking. Again, I've been through that, so I perfectly understand that. I've been told y'all the story. I got put out because of a tarot deck, so I completely. At least they threw your tarot deck out. They didn't put you out the house. But I know how that feel. I know how I feel. You gotta leave now. We don't. Yo, you want some devil shit. You want some devil worship. I know how that feel. I know how you gotta leave in 5 minutes. Leave all your shit. You need to get the fuck out this house. I know how that feel. But you know what it did for me? It just made me go hard. I'm like, oh shit. Damn, y'all say like fuck me, fuck the love that y'all have for me. All that. Like, oh, you with the devil, fuck you. I'm like, well, I guess I'm with the devil then. But again, everybody's not gonna have that mentality. That just strengthened my bond with the devil. I'm like, oh damn, y'all hate the devil that much. It's fuck me forever. Well, fuck you forever. I'm with the devil forever then. Because I know like, oh, this got y'all and y'all goddamn pennies. Well, I'm with this shit for life. But again, don't expect everybody to have that level of dedication. But that's what gave me the strength to go in. So it doesn't matter what I went through. I'm like, I'm with this shit for life. I'm not ever changing. Because I know how people, I'm like, oh, I see how fast people will switch on you when they think they know what you about. Because it wasn't even that I was even with no devil shit at all. Because at that time, I didn't know nothing about anything I know now. I didn't know anything about it. I was just fucking with a tarot deck. So I wasn't doing anything sinister whatsoever. But that's what led me on a direction to understanding what that really is. I'm like, damn, if it got them shook up like that, this must really be powerful. Let me figure out what's going on here. I probably would have took a completely different route had that not occurred, right? Because again, that wasn't my intent. But again, this lifestyle is forced upon you, right? This lifestyle is forced upon you if you really about this shit. What's up, Mon 293? This lifestyle is forced upon you. And I'm telling you that from experience. I didn't choose this lifestyle. I didn't wake up one day, okay, I'm 93. That's not how it happened for me. This shit was forced upon me. And now I know this to be true because when I read the literature, I've been reading literature all day. And the literature just, I'm like, damn, that's my fucking life. I'm like, damn, this is in literature? I didn't know this shit was in literature. All I've been working with, it was a jinn. I've been working with these energies directly. I didn't know that this shit was in literature. I'm like, damn, this is actually the path. Now I'm seeing it written down in literature that's hundreds of years old. I'm like, oh, this is what happens to everybody, huh? I didn't know that. I did not know that. I'm like, damn, you get forced into this shit, huh? Because that's exactly how I felt. Again, I didn't think I was gonna be fucking put out of my home over a tail deck, but I was. So that wasn't a decision I made, but I had to deal with that. And again, that's what actually got me started on the path anyway. So that's what I mean by you don't. This ain't. I didn't have this intention in my head. It was forced upon me, and you have to deal with it. That's how this shit goes. This is not by choice. Again, if I had a choice, I would be doing some other shit, to be honest. If it was my choice, I probably wouldn't be 93 if it was my choice. If I knew everything that came with this, I wouldn't think about no motherfucking infamy, being infamous, being a dark magician, being a black magician. I wasn't thinking about this shit at all whatsoever. I was not exposed to none of this. I wasn't exposed to any of this stuff growing up. All this happened when I got my ass kicked out and I had to conquer those streets. Then I'm like, okay, well, it's time for me to meet the devil then. So I'm just telling you, and I'm like, and the literature proves it. I'm like, how is this shit in literature? How is it? This is my first time reading this shit. I'm like, damn, that's exactly what happened to me. So that's what I'm saying. This is forced upon you. This ain't something you wake up and decide to do. Meaning I wouldn't go as hard as I went if this was just something I decided to do, a decision I made. Like, nah. What made me go this hard is because I had to. I had no choice. It's go hard or die. Are you about to die in these streets? Are you going to allow these streets to take advantage of you? Are you going to allow these gang members to take advantage of you? Are you going to allow these police officers to take advantage of you? Because that's what they're going to do if you don't figure this shit out. In a quick amount of time, if you don't figure it out, then you're going to be eaten by the wolves. So that's what I mean. You have to figure it out. And it ain't because you wanted to. It ain't because I wasn't dreaming about this shit. I didn't have no desire. I didn't care about it until I had to care about it. And so that's just the path, right? And it is what it is. I went homeless of it too. Was told to stop meditating and stop disrespecting Jesus. And that's what I mean. So you see, you didn't choose it. It chose you. And that's how you know it's for you. You didn't choose it. It chose you. You had to say, fuck your family. You had to say, fuck your friends. You had to say, fuck your old lifestyle. And you had to reborn yourself from the flames, not the waters. You had to reborn yourself from the fires because they wanted you to get baptized to the waters, but you had to be baptized by the fires. And that's how this shit go, all right? If you didn't know, if you was kind of slow. So that's it. We're 60 minutes in. That's the message of the day. 93, right? Love is a law, love and the will. We up.